Friends, buckle up. We're diving headfirst into the latest chapter of the US-China trade saga, and spoiler alert, it's about as fun as a root canal performed by a rabid badger. On April 2nd, 2025, President Trump, in a move that surprised absolutely no one, slapped new tariffs on imports. Think of it as a global tariff buffet with a 10% baseline for all countries. But China? Oh, China gets the VIP treatment, a cool 34% tariff piled on top of their existing 20%, bringing the grand total to a whopping 54%. You know, just a casual Tuesday in international trade. These tariffs, which kick in on April 5th and 9th, are like the sequel to a movie nobody asked for. Remember the trade war of 2018? Yeah, this is like that, but with a bigger budget and even more questionable acting. Trump's reasoning? The usual suspects: boosting the US economy, protecting American jobs, and of course, sticking it to those cheaters overseas. You know, the classic greatest hits. Now you might be thinking, John, surely other countries are thrilled about this. Spoiler alert, they're not. From Cambodia to Vietnam, nations are facing tariffs ranging from eye-watering to, are you kidding me, levels. Even our neighbors to the north and south aren't exempt. Remember that USMCA deal? Turns out it's more like a you're still screwed but slightly less kind of deal. But hey, at least Trump's claiming these tariffs are reciprocal, right? Well, about that. Remember that whole reciprocal thing? Turns out it's about as genuine as a $7 Rolex. See, Trump's idea of reciprocity involves some creative math based on trade deficits and exports, not actual, matching tariffs. It's like saying you're going to eat the same amount of cake as your friend, but then you eat their slice too. And China? Well, they're not exactly known for taking punches lying down. On April 3rd, they politely requested the US to, and I quote, knock it off. But just in case the US missed the memo, China's got a counterattack planned. Starting April 10th, they're hitting US goods with their own 34% tariff. It's like a trade war dance-off, but with the global economy hanging in the balance. The fallout? Well, the Dow Jones took a nosedive so steep it needed oxygen. And experts are predicting more turbulence ahead. We're talking supply chain disruptions, price hikes on everything from iPhones to soybeans, and a higher chance of a recession than a Kardashian marriage. Let's break down this whole reciprocal tariff strategy, shall we? It's like trying to understand the plot of Tenet after a bottle of tequila. Basically, Trump's team cooked up a formula. It's like the Pythagorean theorem. But instead of proving a triangle's angles, it justifies slapping tariffs on anyone who dares to sell more stuff to the US than they buy. The formula itself is about as elegant as a dumpster fire. You take a country's trade deficit with the US, divide it by their exports to the US, and then, for good measure, divide it all by 2. Voila, you've got yourself a reciprocal tariff. It's like saying you're going to charge your friend for dinner based on how much more money you make than them. It makes sense in Trump logic land, which is about as logical as a flat earth convention. But here's the thing, tariffs aren't monopoly money, they have real-world consequences. When the US slaps tariffs on Chinese goods, guess who ends up paying the price? American consumers and businesses? That's right, folks, it's like trying to punish the neighborhood bully by setting your own house on fire. So, what's the long-term prognosis for this whole trade war debacle? Well, if you like uncertainty and volatility, you're in for a treat. Experts are predicting everything from a global recession to a complete reshuffling of global trade. Remember that whole globalized economy thing? Yeah, this might just be the straw that breaks the camel's back. The irony is that while Trump claims to be protecting American jobs, these tariffs could end up doing the opposite. When businesses face higher costs for imported goods, they have to raise prices or cut costs, often meaning job losses. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. As for US-China relations, let's just say they're about as frosty as a penguin's backside. There's talk of a potential meeting between Trump and Xi Jinping in June, but I wouldn't hold my breath for a diplomatic breakthrough. This is a trade war that could drag on for years with no real winners in sight. So yeah, buckle up, Buttercup, it's gonna be a bumpy ride.